I was so upset that nobody told me that needed it the most. So I'm telling you, you do not want that. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Dominique, aka Neek, if you don't know already, and today I want to talk to you about what they do not tell you when you are recovering from a C-section. It is a lot they do not tell you. So if you're about to have a baby and you're opting for the C-section route, or you are currently in recovery and want to know a little bit more about what you can do to help speed up recovery, then keep watching this video. So let's get into it. So I'm a mother of two and I had 2 C-sections. The first C-section was technically an emergency C-section. My second C-section was voluntary. And I did that because I'm like, okay, well, I knew what to expect from the first one, so the second one shouldn't be too different. For the most part, I was right. So when you're in the hospital, of course, you're gonna have to stay there for a couple of hours, maybe in a couple of days, until they see that you are ready to go home. During that time, take advantage of every bit of help that you can get. When you get home is when it gets real. That is when your strength is tested the most, especially with a newborn baby. And Lord, pray that you have support with you while you are going through this recovery process, because you are going to need it. So when you go home, the first thing that they don't really tell you, they kind of do, but they really don't, is to keep your scar dry at all times. So usually this means like putting a pad near your underwear line, taking some tape and maybe putting some tissue down there. Whatever you have to do, keep it dry. Your mommy apron, which is that flap that unfortunately you're probably going to get after you deliver the baby, is going to hang over your scar. What happens is this becomes a breeding ground for bacteria and all type of nasty stuff to just breed under there. Sweat also can get caught there as well. So you want to make sure that it is dry at all times. And every few hours, you want to make sure that you change it out so that it's not that same nasty, sticky pad or whatever you're using that's staying there. Because what's going to happen is when that bacteria and the sweat and all of that starts building up, you're more likely to catch an infection and have an infected scar, okay? And you do not want that. The second thing that no one tells you when you are recovering from a C-section is that you can bust your stitches from just laughing too hard. I had no idea. If you laugh too hard, if you sneeze too hard, cough too hard, cry too hard, you can bust your stitches. My first pregnancy, I had staples, so I don't think I had to worry about this one too much. A staple was just gonna pop out if I laughed or coughed or sneezed too hard. But stitches can burst if you laugh, cough, sneeze, cry too hard, because all of that pressure can just kind of rip it open. That sounds gross, but it happens. So what they didn't tell me to do was that anytime I, felt the need to sneeze, cough, laugh, cry, whatever, take a pillow and to press it against my abdomen where the scar is. This way it decreases the pressure that's being put on the stitches and makes them less likely to burst open. That one was scary for me because I love to laugh, and to know that laughing too hard could burst my insides open, I was so upset that nobody told me that when I needed it the most, okay? So I'm telling you, make sure that you are putting some counter pressure on your scar when you feel like you need to laugh, cough, sneeze, or cry. So getting into the fourth thing that nobody tells you when you're recovering from a C-section is that unless you have a nanny or someone that is at your beck and call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to help you with the baby, you are going to be getting out of the bed a lot to cater to your newborn, all right? Of course, you know this already. A baby needs you for everything. Why wouldn't I get out the bed every 5 minutes? The reason that I'm saying this is because, remember, you are supposed to be healing. So you're really not supposed to be jumping and getting out of the bed too much, because that can interfere with the healing process. Now, when you're recovering, getting out of the bed is really, really hard. And you have to use your abdomen in order to move you to get up, to sit up, so that you can get off of your bed and start moving around. So to help you do this better, you need to invest in a very good type of waistband that is going to give you support down there, so you don't constantly have to use all of your ab muscles that you really don't have anymore because they're still recovering, to get out of bed and to move around. Getting up too many times when you're not supposed to be moving around just yet can really interfere with that healing process, and it's something you want to avoid completely. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you invest in a really good waistband so that it can give you the support that you need when you are getting up and moving around, because it's inevitable. You're gonna have to get up out of the bed to go help your baby, even if you're not technically ready to do so yet. And don't just invest in any waist trainer, okay? You need one that is specific to C-section recovery, okay? You really don't want to train your waist like you see in advertisements and things. Waist trainers are gonna put way too much pressure in your abdomen and can stop those organs that are trying to fall back into place from getting there. You'll eventually do more harm than good by going with a very traditional waist trainer versus getting one that is specific for healing after your operation. And I promise you, it makes a world of a difference. When I had to use mine, getting out of bed was a lot less harder, moving around. It didn't feel like my insides were about to fall out at any time. So definitely make sure you get one. This is why I say it is so important to have all of the support that you need when you get home, because that recovery is so important. Not just for you, but for your baby. Because if you're not good, then the chances are taking care of that baby is going to be a lot harder, and the baby's going to feel that. Now this next one is kind of funny, but it is very serious because it happens to like almost every woman I've seen when I would scroll through TikTok and listen to their stories about C-section recovery. Get you some stool softeners. Going to the bathroom after having a baby? You want to have stool softeners. I don't think I have to go into detail about that, but I'm going to anyway. So remember how I said that if you laugh, sneeze, cough, or cry too hard that you could burst your stitches and, start the whole thing over? Same thing applies when you go to the restroom and you're constipated. You do not want to be recovering and having to go to the bathroom and strain to use the bathroom. That is going to put more pressure on your scar, more pressure on your insides, and make recovery so much more difficult. Although I didn't mention this yet, but it hurts to go to the restroom. Like even just going make a number one, it feels like contractions. It hurts so bad just even going to pee. And nobody told me that the first time around after I had a C-section. Granted, they didn't tell me till after the fact, but I would have loved to be prepared going onto the toilet knowing that it would hurt just to pee. Imagine trying to go number 2 and going in constipated. Don't do it. Get some stool softeners specifically from the doctor's office, because I think they're the most potent and they help you go to the restroom better than any laxative that is over the counter. But that's just my personal opinion from my own experience. I touched on this a little bit earlier in the video, but no one tells you how much support you are going to need when you get home. I'm not sure why this is an assessment that they do at the hospital to maybe see how they can help you during the process even while you're at home. You need that support. Now I understand not everyone is blessed to be able to have an entire village to come home with them and just cater to them while they're recovering. But if you do, take advantage of it. Take advantage of the grandmothers, the aunties, the cousins, the doulas that want to be there for you, because it hurts to do just about anything while you're recovering. Because not only is it difficult and painful to get in and out of the bed, go to the bathroom, it's also difficult to shower, getting in and out of the tub, washing yourself, walking from the room to the kitchen. All of it is so painful. So the less you have to do for yourself, the better. And the final thing that no one tells you when you are recovering from a C-section is about scar tissue. It is possible to have so much scar tissue built up that you would need surgery to get that scar tissue removed. So no one told me that in order to avoid that from happening, that you should start doing scar massages once you're cleared to do so. So what a scar massage looks like is you have your incision line, and you're basically just gonna apply some pressure above and below the incision line and massaging it so that you can break up some of that scar tissue that may have built up. This can also help you to bring back some of the feeling in that area, because after you get surgery, you are going to be numb for probably some time after having surgery and recovering from your C-section. Now remember, all of these are based on my own personal experience from having not one but 2 C-sections. And these were the things that I found to be consistent in both of them, because every pregnancy and every delivery and every recovery is different. And that's all I have for you guys. I hope this was super helpful in helping you in your recovery process. I hope that you were able to learn some new information. And if you're a mom and you have something that I might have missed from your C-section recovery, I would love to know so that I can get to learn more about what else I can share with my friends who've never had babies or who want to have a C-section and want to know what to expect next. So make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on if you want to see my next video post as soon as possible.